If you're thinking of getting a puppy, or you have a puppy already, it's really important to puppy-proof the house to make sure that nothing bad happens and our puppy stays safe. And even if you have an adult dog, or if you're going to get an adult dog, you can follow these same tips to make sure they stay safe as well. It's really helpful to try to see the world through your dog's eyes. And here is the way I tell people to do that. If you're bringing home a puppy or you have a small dog, lay down flat on the ground. And if you have a medium to large breed dog, go down on the ground and go on all fours, on your hands and knees. What I want you to do then is while you're laying down flat or while you're on your hands and knees, just simply look around like this, or if you're laying on the ground, put your head up. Whatever you're seeing in that position is what your dog sees. And anything you see like that is at risk of getting chewed on. Electrical cords. If your dog chews on the power cord that's plugged into the wall, not only can they get electrocuted, but they can also suffer severe burns in their mouth. Most people have so many things plugged in, right? Computers, TVs, our cell phone chargers. There are cords and plugs everywhere. So we gotta be really cautious that our puppy cannot get to them. One thing that does exist that's kind of cool is a chew-resistant PVC casing. And basically it's a casing that you can put around the wires, and when the puppy or the dog goes to chew on it, it prevents them from actually hitting the wires. They just hit the casing instead. Also think about outside as well. If you have a backyard that's maybe landscaped and you've got, lights, you've got some other things plugged in, I don't know, electric smokers, electric barbecues, something plugged in out there. Before you let the puppy go outside in the backyard, keep those cords protected. Secure your laundry. It's very normal for puppies to put everything in their mouth, how they learn and how they explore the world. And sometimes they pick up things that can be very dangerous to them if they chew them up and swallow them or swallow them whole. One of the things puppies and dogs love to pick up and run around with are socks, or in some cases even underwear. If they have it long enough and they start chewing it up, they can break off pieces that are small enough to swallow, but too big to pass through the intestine. And again, we get a foreign body obstruction, which is very, very serious. When you're doing laundry, be extra cautious that if you're missing a sock, it's not because it's in the dryer or the washing machine. It probably is in your dog's bed. And not just when you're doing laundry, but when you're changing and taking off your clothes. Before I got a dog, I was the messiest person in the world. You could walk into my bedroom, you couldn't even see the floor. I had so many clothes on it because I was messy. I didn't have a reason to be clean. When I got a puppy, anything that was on that floor was in that dog's mouth. So I learned very quickly, all right, we gotta be clean, invest in some laundry baskets, and the laundry goes away. Keep your trash locked up. It's really important that we have our trash cans secure because garbage to dogs is very exciting. There's food in there that smells really good, and maybe the food that's in there that smells so good to the dogs could be something very dangerous, like chicken bones, for example. Remember that cooked chicken bones can splinter and can become a huge choking hazard. If you have the kind of garbage can that's always open, I'd really recommend we get the kind of garbage can with a lid. And ideally, not just a lid that flops off really easily, but one that you actually either have to unlock or use kind of the foot lever to open up. It's really important to make sure our garbage cans are secure so that the dogs can't get into it. Remember when you're gonna take those garbage bags out then, don't just leave those bags sitting around where the dog can get into them. I know the garbage bag companies like to advertise, oh, the bags are so powerful, so strong, but they're no match for a dog's teeth. If a dog wants to chew through that bag because they smell something good in there, they're gonna get right through it. So don't let your dog get into the trash. Carpets and rugs. When you first have a puppy, house training is one of the biggest things you're gonna be working on. And when you're house training a puppy, accidents are going to happen. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, there's gonna be accidents. So you gotta be prepared for that. If you have any kind of expensive rugs or runners or some kind of carpets somewhere, you might wanna consider picking them up before you bring the puppy or your dog home, because there's a chance that there's gonna be accidents on those and we don't want them to get ruined. Keep in mind also that puppies love to chew. If you have the kind of rugs that have the little fringe on the outside, that's very enticing for a puppy to want to chew on and eat. And not only can that damage the rug, but if the puppy actually chews off bits of that and swallows it, it can cause a foreign body obstruction. Foreign body obstructions are very serious. It needs medical attention, sometimes even surgery. Purses and backpacks. Now, if you're like me, you come home from the gym, you throw your backpack on the floor, and you don't touch it till the next day when you leave to go back out. But if I had a dog and I was doing that, I guarantee the dog or the puppy would be all in that backpack. If I had a purse, it'd be even worse because there's even more exciting stuff in purses. Make sure that any kind of bags that you're using to carry stuff in, you put it out of reach when you come home. Hang it up on the doorknob or on the chair, wherever it is, but keep it out of reach because if you put that on the ground, it's going to be something very exciting to the puppy or the dog to want to go into. Yard check. So if you're planning to let your puppy go in the backyard or maybe even the front yard, it's really, really important that we guarantee there's no way that puppy or dog can accidentally get out. And you'd be surprised at just how good dogs are at finding ways to escape. The first thing I would do is go outside and just walk around the perimeter and look at the fence. Look at the bottom of the fence, see is there any place that the dog can dig and sneak out, and then look for things that the dog can climb on that are near the fence, that they potentially could climb on and then go over the fence. Depending on what kind of breed and what kind of dog you have, some dogs are very, very, very good at climbing, and it doesn't take much for them to be able to jump up and then go over the fence. You also want to be really careful that there's nothing else in the backyard that might be a problem for a dog. For example, patio furniture. Maybe you have this kind of lounge chairs where it's kind of that weird lattice design, and that's a very easy thing for a puppy or a dog to jump up on. Boom, their leg gets stuck when you're not there. Be very cautious of gardening tools. If you have any kind of sharp tools, any kind of clippers or shears that you use for cutting trees or cutting bushes, we don't want that being out and our puppy goes over and grabs that, chews on that, cuts their face. Any kind of fertilizers that are on the ground, insecticides. Really, really be cautious. There's nothing in the backyard that our puppy could get into. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying this video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Things in the garage. Now, if you park your car in the garage, you have to be really cautious because the car can leak things that can be very dangerous to a puppy, whether it's an oil leak or something really bad like antifreeze. Antifreeze is very exciting to dogs. They love the smell of it and they love the taste of it. But even a small amount, especially with a puppy, the tiniest amount, can be an emergency situation. If you got your little puppy following you around the house and you're doing errands and you go out into the garage, you want to be really cautious that there's nothing wrong with our car and there's nothing leaking that the puppy might get into. Now, I don't know about you, but I keep a lot of other just kind of random things in the garage, soaps and detergents and cleaners and all sorts of other things. The garage is kind of the area where, all things that don't have a place in the house is where they end up. So there can be a lot of other things in that garage that can be dangerous to dogs as well. Be really cautious, double check before you let the puppy go in there. Toilet water. Do not let your dog or puppy drink from the toilet. It is disgusting. There's all sorts of germs, potential bacteria in the toilet bowl for obvious reasons. And whenever you let the dog drink out of the toilet and drink the toilet water, you're running the risk of the dog then ingesting that bacteria. Now, maybe you're super clean and you clean the toilet every day. Great, fantastic. But guess what? Now you're running the risk of the dog getting that cleaning products into their body. They're drinking bits of bleach or I don't know, what else do you clean toilets with? Clorox. And now you're running a risk of poisoning the dog. Just give the dog a bowl of water, fresh water, and keep the toilet lid shut. It is not a good idea for dogs to drink out of the toilet. Houseplants. To a dog, plants can be very exciting to chew on, but unfortunately, there's a lot of houseplants that can make dogs very, very sick. Here are some of the most common houseplants that are toxic to dogs. Aloe vera, ivy, jade plant, devil's ivy, and bird of paradise. Watch for heights. Remember that the world to puppies is brand new. They got no concept of what anything is, including heights. They don't understand that if they jump off of something that they're going to get injured. Now you have to look around your place where you live and really pay attention to what are the risks of heights. Maybe you have stairs and on the side of the stairs there's a place where the puppy can slip through. Maybe you have couches that are really, really high or a bed that's really high. We want to be really careful that there's no place that our puppy can accidentally jump off of or fall through. When you've got a young little puppy with a very weak body, it doesn't take much of a fall or impact to cause serious damage. So if you're getting a puppy soon or you got your puppy already, make sure you follow these tips, help keep them safe.